Hello everyone and welcome to Motorcyclegear.com. Today we're taking a look at the brand new X1 Alpha helmet from Klim. The official name is going to be the Klim X1 Alpha helmet, but to keep things simple in this video, I'll just go ahead and refer to it as the X1 going forward. It is going to be brand new for this year, and Klim states that it has taken over 5 years to develop. The X1 does give you 4-mode versatility. It can do ADV, dual sport, off-road, and street. Taking a quick look at colors, there are 7 options available. We have matte peyote teak, gloss metallic high-rise with monument gray, metallic asphalt and monument gray, gloss high-vis with white, gloss concept petrol with strike orange, gloss concept high-rise with electric blue lemonade, and finally carbon matte black. Additionally, there are 3 shell sizes. The first covers sizes extra small to medium, the second large, and the third extra large to 3XL. There are also 5 EPS sizes, the first size being extra small to small, the second being medium, the third being large, the fourth being extra large, and the final size being 2XL to 3XL. And if you are wondering about weight, a size large does weigh 1,550 grams, which is roughly going to be about 3.4 pounds. In the box included, you do get a small carrying bag, you do get a pin lock, as well as a photochromic shield. Now keep in mind, on the photochromic shield, Klim does recommend that you only use it in street mode, as if you do use it with a peak visor, it can exhibit some uneven tint on the photochromic shield. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into some of the details. The outer shell is going to be a hand-laid carbon fiber with a shell construction process that is designed to reduce imperfections and therefore reduce excess weight. Let's start from the front here. On the chin, front and center, we do have 2 vents. The bottom vent, really simple to open, just click open, click close. When it's open, all the air coming in through here is going to go into the cabin itself or into the helmet itself to help keep you nice and cool. The upper vent here, same process, open, close. When it is open, it actually takes the air in, not into the helmet, but actually into a diffuser here. Let me see if I can show you guys this. So inside the actual gasket here, there are some air openings. The air comes in and the air blows out right through there. This is actually going to defog the visor. So if you do have any fogging issues, pop that open and it'll get the fog out nice and quickly. On the forehead here, there are going to be 2 more intake vents right here on each side. Very simple process of open and close. You can also do a halfway to kind of help control that airflow. Keep in mind, these are going to be water resistant, but only when they are closed, because if you do have airflow, there is a chance for water flow as well. And the back of the helmet is going to feature 4 exhaust ports. You do have 2 here underneath the spoiler and then 2 down here as well. Taking a look at the visor, it's super easy to operate, has a very easy open and close. Keep in mind, it does have dual tabs here. Most visors on most helmets just have the one side. This helmet is going to be ambidextrous, so really nice and easy to grab from either side and open the visor nice and easy. Here on the front as well, you do have a barely open mode, or that's at least what I call it. Great for anti-fogging. If you do have some fogging issues, you can leave it barely cracked open. It'll flow a lot of air and get rid of that fog. Now keep in mind, you do have a massive pin lock included, plus you do have the fog vent right here, so really you shouldn't have any fogging issues, but if you do, you have this option as well. Now what I do like about this visor is if you click it closed all the way, it has a very tight seal and it gives you that confidence that the elements are going to stay out. The reason for that, if you open it up, it has a very large seal gasket all the way around the visor opening. And then here in the corners, if you notice, the material changes a little bit. It's more of a hard plastic, a very smooth plastic, which is going to allow the visor to come over the top here. And where the tabs are, it'll smoothly slide over, making it that much easier to open and close. Now, a few things to note about both of the included shields, both the clear and the photochromatic, is that they do offer a Class 1 optical clarity. They are both optically correct as they feature multi-thickness levels to keep the distortion to a minimum. They both offer HD vision, a large field of view, as well as UV 400 protection, and additionally, the photochromic shield here is actually going to have infrared shielding, which greatly reduces the heat buildup inside of the helmet. Now, the X1 is also off-road compatible, so if you do want to remove the shield and use goggles instead, you totally can. This is going to be a completely tool-free design. So basically, you take this part right here, this little tab, you go ahead and give it a push, and you'll notice that it pops right out, and that's pretty much it. Once you pop it out, You do that on both sides. The shield comes off and you can use goggles instead. Now to put it back on, really similar process. You line it up. There are these little tabs right here on each end. They line up to the gaps right there. Once you get them lined up, just give it a bit of a push. It pops back into place. And again, very simple, easy, good to go. The really cool thing about this design right here, it's actually self-tightening and self-adjusting. So you really don't have to worry about, did I install it right? Is my seal still going to be good? The moment you pop it into place, this piece auto adjusts and you're good to go. When you go ahead and close it, you got to shut it all the way down and you still have that perfectly good seal. No issues whatsoever. Moving up from there, we do have the peak visor. Now, Klim does state that the visor is designed with aerodynamics in mind and is actually wind tunnel tested. Both the peak and the spoiler here on the back are going to be designed to reduce drag, lift, and were tested to minimize any crosswind issues. Now, the peak visor here does have 3 positions. I'll go ahead and rotate the helmet so you guys can see. There's a button right here at the top. If you press it down, you can move the visor into a different position. Press it down again. There's one more, press it down again, and there's a third. There are 3 different levels. All you gotta do is push that button. Now, really cool design here. It is completely tool-free. If you want to remove it, all you have to do is go past that 3rd position. Go ahead and push the button down even further, slide it all the way forward, and you'll see it come out. Now it's pretty much free range. And now on the sides here, there is an exact pivot point. Once you get to it, the pieces just separate and you're good to go. All right, so go ahead and zoom in a little bit right here so you guys can see there are little groove points that the little pivot points on the side of the helmet go into right here. Once those are aligned, the visor is going to snap back in and you're good to go. Again, completely tool free. I'll go ahead and install it back on so you guys can see just how easy it is. All right, so we zoom back out. We go ahead and line up the edges here. Again, like I said, there are grooves on each side, so go ahead and pivot until you find them. Once you find them, you'll see that the actual plastic here snaps into place and it's ready to go. The sides are now already connected that easy. I'll go ahead and turn it sideways so you guys can see a little bit better. Here's your main entry point, and then here's your 3 pivot points. So you want to go ahead and press this button down all the way, line it up to that first hole. That's going to make it snap back in. You got to press down really hard and then push back. And once you do, your visor is reconnected. Now you can go ahead and adjust it as you see fit. And the cool thing about this peak visor design is that it's totally independent from the shield, which means that taking it on and off is going to be super simple. This is really going to be important when you are doing some off-road riding with the peak installed, and then you need to get back on the highway real quick and need to go back into street mode. Again, totally tool-free, very simple, will not be a problem whatsoever. As we flip to the back of the helmet here, you will notice that the X1 Alpha is both DOT and ECE 2206 certified. And looking at the bottom of the helmet here, we do have a titanium D-ring closure. And then if you notice on the front, there's actually a built-in chin curtain. Now, what I like about this chin curtain, it's kind of cut open right here, and then it does have a elastic strap. This makes it more flexible and easier to put the helmet on and off. In the back here too, you have 2 additional elastic points. Again, makes it a lot easier to get into the helmet. Now, looking at other features, we have a lot of comfortable materials here, a lot of materials that look good and feel good. We do have some suede, we do have some perforated cowhide, as well as some spacer mesh, adding additional airflow to the bottom of the helmet. And you'll also notice here in the front and here on the sides, it does feature some reflective materials as well. Let's make our way to the inside of the helmet, and it is going to feature a removable and washable, moisture-wicking, antimicrobial Burr Pro cooling fabric lining both the cheek pads and the crown. Now keep in mind the cheek pads and the crown liner are both replaceable as well as interchangeable with different size thicknesses to make sure you get the fit exactly as you need it. And one last thing, there are also ear pocket cutouts for comm systems. Okay, so I'm sure the question on everybody's mind is what's with the green stuff? It does look like a bunch of straws, and that is going to be your Koroyd. Actually, what you are seeing is basically a sandwich of both channeled EPS liner as well as Koroyd, which is great for both airflow and heat control, but more importantly, it is designed to optimize impact protection by having the Koroyd structures work together and crush together, which basically keeps the least amount of force transferring to your head as possible. So again, the EPS liner is channeled and is aligned with the vents and overall airflow to help keep you cool. But then to take things one step further, I did mention that it is a sandwich, meaning that there is another layer of EPS between the Koroyd and the outer shell, which keeps the heat from the outer shell from transferring to your head. In other words, the X1 helmet is not only going to look good and feel good, but it'll also keep you safe. Now, the more I dive into this helmet, the more I notice little features that further enhance the safety, comfort, and functionality of this helmet. I do believe that Klim did a really good job in trying to further improve and evolve over their previous helmet designs. Really great work. Shout out to Klim. With that said, the X1 Alpha helmet is definitely worth checking out. All right, so that's going to be it for the X1 helmet from Klim. Be sure to visit Motorcyclegear.com. Hit us up in the comments down below via phone or email, as we are always here to help you out with your motorcycle gear needs. Thank you all for watching. Till next time.